Hi, so let's start with the today's tutorial session on improving graph. First of all, I will go through the pre-quiz. So, in pre-quiz, the first question is for regarding correlation matrix. So, for the, if anyone has any issue, then let me know in the middle. And so, the first question is related to correlation matrix, and as you can say, its element can take any positive value. It's false because it can't be greater than 1, and we know its value vary from -1 to 1. And yeah, it's a symmetric matrix, so third option is correct. The second one is regarding the box plot. So the first one is wrong because this is an outlier here, and median and q1 you can compare. These lines are medians, and this is q1 for drama, and this is q1 for comedy. So like that you can compare. And for the fourth option, interquartile range, you can compare by looking at the maximum value, because we know the maximum value is 1.5 times of interquartile range. So the one which has the maximum value have greater quantile range. So this question, most of the people get confused in this question. So since the 10th row would be the ninth row in the pandas data frame, because its index starts from 0. So ninth row would be the 10th row, like corresponding 10th row in the real raw data. And since 10th and 20th both are inclusive, so this will be the correct option. Now for regarding histogram, so it is used for continuous variable. Yeah, it's true. We don't plot histogram for categorical variables. Height of a bin cannot be equal 0. It's false because there might be some interval in between whose count is 0. Like there might be no points in that interval. And since it gives the idea of distribution, so we can say it gives an idea of skewness. And this is just like bins are defined in this manner. So the second option is wrong. Now in this question, the first and third options are also correct for representing a pie chart, but I have specifically asked to label as the category name, that is rotten fish and certified fresh. So we will go with second option. This one is the simplest one, so every one of you should correct this. The second option is right. And here I have asked to plot graph, bar graph between two variable, two features. And the first option is you by using matplotlib package, and the second option is by using pandas data frame, where df is the data frame. So both of them are correct. So now if you have any of you have question, then please ask.
Rishabh, so can you please explain this box plot thing once? People are having some doubt in this.
Okay. So, the first option, none of them have any outliers. So we can see for drama, there is an outlier here, which is above the maximum value. Median of comedy is greater than that of drama. So median of drama is shown by this line, and median of comedy is by this line. So we can say that median of comedy is greater than median of drama. Median of drama is greater than quartile range 1 of comedy. So median of drama is again this, and q1 is of comedy is represented by this horizontal line. So we can see that it's greater than this one. And comedy has a greater interquartile range, because the maximum value of comedy is greater than that of drama, and the maximum value is defined as 1.5 times of interquartile range.
Yeah, so Ashish Kashyap, he is having some questions. So Ashish, could you please
Yeah,
means ask you? Yeah.
yeah. So my question is that there's an like it is written that histogram can only be plotted for continuous variable. This is incorrect in my opinion because uh, eventually what you are doing with the continuous data, you are binning it into bins, right? And it is something like ordinal categorical variables. So basically, it's not entirely true that it is
Here
just.
I have not mentioned explicitly the continuous variable. More in generally, it is used for visualizing continuous variable. Like yeah,
I mean, yeah, yeah,
when you
yeah.
are
But
defining a binning, then you are in terms of bucketing down the values, but that is because that is a continuous variable, right?
yeah, that's true. But for example, in a case like where it's a categorical variable, for example, age is there, right? Then 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So if even if your ages were distributed in, like any number, but when you are plotting a histogram, you're actually converting them into categorical variable of a certain bin size, right? So that's what I wanted to say. I mean, I also got little confused, but yeah, I got this one right. But still, I had this thing to share. I mean, probably
So basically,
that was
what
not the
I
intent in the
think
question.
that histogram is used for continuous variable. It's another thing that we are then converting it for into a categories and then we are plotting that. But we can't use it for categorical variable because we have better options like bar graph and something like that.
I mean, yeah, there are better options, but you can still use it. I mean, it's not prohibited. That's what I wanted to just say. Like, of course, there are better options, but it can be used for, because eventually it is equivalent to saying that it's like equivalent to saying that it's like ordinal categorical variables only. Like, you're getting the point what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually, you are winning down. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to.
We can
So
think in that way, but in general, this is
Yeah,
what
yeah, sure,
we
sure.
use.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you could read about histogram, so it basically says means number of bins we can always control. Means if you want, you can make like entire a single bin on x-axis. If you want, you can
Hmm.
make it plot like that way. In that case, there is a single bin. Now number of bins we are putting it for better visualization, but histogram is meant mainly for continuous variables. Again, by tweaking any data, any categorical variable, you can plot a histogram, but usually continuous variables are best suited using a histogram.
So
So
basically, in your opinion, because of the flexibility that we can change the bin size, yes, then it makes sense. Yes, yeah, that's fine. Because we have
yeah,
the flexibility of changing the bin size, right? That's the point.
yeah, means we can always change the bin size. You can make it 10, 12, 1, 2, whatever you want to, you
So
can
here the
always.
Even
number of categories are not well defined.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
so
okay,
that is not a
yes, yes,
discrete variable. Yeah. Now,
yeah. Thanks.
yes,
Exactly.
Sanjeev. Yes, Sanjeev. Can you please explain?
Just wanted to put in the fact that rather than just saying 2 points beside a problem, you could probably write it as a multi correct question from the next time, please.
No, no. So yeah, here is a single catch that if you can see on the screen where Rishabh is pointing right now. So it is radio button. So here if you try to select multiple options, you cannot. But in case of more than one, like then there is a checkbox system. If Rishabh is having any question like that, we can have a
Uh,
look. Now, I think we are not having any such question in this particular quiz, but you can easily identify it. Or am I saying something wrong, Rishabh?
no, there are multiple correct options here as well.
No, I don't think so. Okay, you can try, but
Yeah, this box plot question only has two correct options. Also has two correct options. B and C, I think both are correct.
yeah, but okay. So in that case, we would have to make made it multiple choice questions.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
we will,
Yes.
yeah, we will keep this thing in my mind next time. But
Thank you.
usually, yeah, radio button is meant for a single choice, and
Yes.
checkbox, the one square shaped, that is meant for multiple choice. So
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, we will keep this thing in our mind. Yeah. Yeah. Any other question from anyone? Okay, so there is one question, Rishabh, that why does second option in last question does not require plt.show command?
Because this is here we are directly using pandas function. If we use matplotlib, then we have to use plt.show. Uh, in this option, we are using directly data frame functions.
Yeah, people are also asking that we need to go bit little slow. Yeah, Rishabh.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, so Yeah, so I don't think we are having any questions from in the chat box as of now.
Okay, so let's switch
So
the tutorial assignment part.
yeah,
So if
Guys,
anyone of you have
there's
a question,
there's a raise hand feature. A couple of students have asked a question.
okay,
Check the
okay,
raise.
sure.
Check the raise.
Yes, yes, yeah. Kasina Jyoti, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the last question just now, which we discussed, plot dot show,
yeah.
I've observed that even without the show command, the graph is being plotted
Okay, so
in the
well, I have
first
not tried that,
option.
but
And when I saw about that, it said when we are plotting it from a script, that is when plot dot show is useful. Something like that was written.
okay, so well, I'm not aware of that, but it might be the case.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, next, yes, yes, you have question again. Yes.
Oh, I didn't lower my hand. My bad.
Okay, okay, not an issue. Any other question from anyone? Yeah, okay. So in that case, we can proceed to discuss the assignment thing.
Assignment
So
part.
you
Okay.
can, so
Now
all of
you
you,
guys
please,
can
you
ask.
can, yeah, you can explain about this.
There's a question 3 in quiz chat.
Question three in quiz. Yeah, Rishabh, question three in quiz.
Okay. What is the question?
Just they want you to explain the question.
Okay. So here we want to slice down our data from 10th to 20th row. For example, we have shown you earlier how to slice the first 10 row of a data frame. So here I have asked to slice 10th row to 20th row. Both are the inclusive. Sorry. So and these are the basically you need to keep in the mind that this is a list value and these are the index of pandas data frame.
Yeah, so people are asking like index starts at zero or one.
So it since it's a pandas data frame, so it starts with 0. So the
Yeah.
ninth row here it's corresponding to the 10th row in the original data.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we can discuss the assignment now. I think people. Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch on there. So if anyone have question, please ask.
Okay. So people are asking about how to create a mask for removing duplicates. One which was given to plot a heat map.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this one.
basically, we are using mask to remove the duplicated value. So as you can see in the on the notebook that we have uploaded for previous lectures, uh, first we have to create a mask which is of size equivalent to the of the correlation matrix and just assign all the values to be false. Then you need to explicitly mention that we want a lower triangle and keep and just change its value to true. You can find code there and then apply that mask over the SNS over the Seaborn function for heat map, and then you can get the lower triangle of correlation matrix. So basically, that is the removing duplicates.
Yeah, they're asking you to repeat like whatever you just explained regarding heat map.
Okay. So
Uh,
correlation matrix is a symmetric matrix. So we want to take only lower triangle values. So for that, first we need to create a mask, which is which should be of the same size as that of the correlation matrix, and we will assign the value of every element of that mask matrix equals to false, the boolean false. Now we have to explicitly mention in the next step about to just select the lower triangle and to change the value to boolean truth, and then we need to apply that mask over the correlation matrix. For that you can refer to the code that we have discussed earlier.
okay, so there is another question that since all the values in the diagonal are 1, should
Yeah.
we remove the diagonal values also?
Yeah, it is advisable to remove that because they are of no use, because we are just seeing the correlation of value of a variable with respect to the same variable, which is of course going to be one.
Yeah, however, when you use the mask function and you define like there is a function like np.1 likes, so accordingly by default it will not remove the diagonal element, it will remove the upper triangle part mainly, the part above the diagonal. So you can write your own function to remove the diagonal as well. Yeah, so they're asking you to explain part 3 question 1.
Part this one.
Yeah, I think histogram 1.
So basically, for the first part, there is a very short command for a pandas data frame. You can directly use that to plot the histogram for all the features, and basically for all the columns. And for the second part, you need to visualize the data, and as sir said in the previous lectures, you need to get the insight of data and see whether they can be dropped or not by building a model. So basically, when you will decide whether to drop or not, when you can see that there is a variable whose value is not changing for any rows. So that is a redundant variable. We don't want to include them in our model.
Yeah, so I would like to add one thing that I think people are getting confused that they have to plot one histogram. It's not the case. It's that you have to miss. There is a single command which Rishabh just explained. By using that command, you can draw all the histograms in a in a single go. Means without writing the histogram code for each and every numerical column, you can write a single line that is dot hist, and then you can get all the histograms. Okay, means there is not one histogram, there might be multiple histograms, but they can be drawn in a single go. And redundant features means that by looking at the distribution after plotting the histogram, you will see that whether they are varying or not. Suppose there is one feature which is remaining constant for all the rows, then that does not make much sense in our calculation. Okay, so means you can think about it like you can think it this way, like if means that feature does not will add any value to our data set. That's why if you find any such data set which is remaining constant for all the rows, you can term it as a redundant one. Okay, and I think there was one question from YouTube as well, that how to plot histogram of multiple columns in a single plot. Again, you don't need to draw a single plot. What I mean is that you have to means you can do whatever method you want. The idea is to just to let you know that pandas has such a good feature that means instead of plotting histogram for each and every feature, you can draw for all of them in a single go. So that's why there is not one plot. There is more than one plot. The command is a single line. That is the key here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, Ashish Kashyap, he has raised his hands. We can
Yeah,
listen to him.
so my question is that the drop I am yeah I like this particular command which you just talked about. I will not name the command, but still, is the like it takes a lot of time, right? Because there are many histograms to be plotted, right? So
Yeah.
like that, I mean, I'm just trying to hint you with whether I use the right thing or not. It takes a lot of time. The second important like thing that I wanted to discuss is the redundant feature here actually can have two interpretations in my opinion. One is that which you already talked about, that the feature stays constant, right? The other can be, for example, two features can be like very strongly linearly correlated, right? So when we are generally building linear models, then in that case, if we drop one out of,
Yeah, one of the two
yeah,
highly
so
correlated
do
with.
we also have to include that, or it's just about the constant variable?
No, you can means you can draw your second thing which you explained that also, and then you can write your write your comments that what you find using what feature that you can explain.
Okay, okay. So basically, there's no hard and fast rule, like it's flexible
Yeah, the
depending upon
second
what.
question
Yeah.
is
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
yes, yes. And regarding the timing, which you mentioned that it takes a lot of time, so it will depend on your internet speed as well. And means yeah, it takes a while, no doubt. It takes a couple of seconds, I think it takes.
I guess
But
30
again, it was
seconds.
like that. There's a trade-off, like using a lot of lines or using a single line. So there's a trade-off definitely. You can
Oh
select
yeah,
as
yeah.
per your
Okay, yeah. Like you
convenience.
got. So basically, yeah. So that's the because that's the only option which I use. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that.
Sure, sure. Yeah, Ashish Kashyap, Kasina Jyoti. Yeah, you can explain.
Yes,
Kasina
sir.
Jyoti.
So,
Yeah.
sir, this is a technical issue that I'm having. While I'm trying to load the, you know, data sets here right now, it shows internal server error. I don't know what happened. And in your GitHub repo, I can't find the datasets folder that used to be there before.
Uh, okay, so see, these data sets are not unique. Means if you refer to our lecture notebook, in that folder we are having these data sets stored. Okay, so
No,
you
but
can always
once
download
you've
your data
refreshed the
set.
runtime, they're gone, right?
Yes, that's correct. Means once you refresh
So
the Google Chrome notebook, they will go on. That's why we have hard coded this time. We have given the link.
yes, sir, that's what I'm saying. That link is into your repo of Shala 20, right?
Yes,
Okay, so let me try here.
it will work.
Yeah, just
It will work. Rishabh, can you please try it
Yeah,
once?
let me
It
try.
should work. Any? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, this is what even I'm getting.
Okay, so we will look into that, and
Maybe
if
by
not, then
mistake
we
the
will
port.
explicitly share this data.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Rishabh, have you noticed the libraries by the way?
Yeah,
Rishabh,
yeah, I have.
no, you have not. Okay, you have. Okay, you have.
I don't know why is this creating a problem.
In the repo, the folder is missing. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that is the issue.
Okay, okay, we
Rishabh,
will
can you
find.
please click on that link? Maybe
Okay.
yeah, you can just copy paste this link.
Sir, I wanted to say that the folder is not missing. Actually, only for this file, the like the raw portion of it is not working. So means you can upload manually. Even for me, it is showing the same error. So some backend error maybe.
Okay, we'll definitely look into this. We were not aware of this. We'll look into this for sure.
Sir, the other datasets we are already having actually, train and with dataset. If you could please provide the iris dataset, that would be sufficient, I guess.
Iris dataset has already been loaded. Rishabh, can you please scroll down?
No,
That has
that
already been.
for the iris dataset also, it's giving the same error, internal server error.
Which?
It is a feature of SNS actually. It should
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Okay.
same thing.
It is a feature of SNS Seaborn.
I think it is an issue from Google Colab itself, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
From next time onwards, we will definitely upload the data separately.
yeah, we will upload the raw
Don't worry,
data
we were not
explicitly.
aware of. Yeah, we will definitely upload it. Thank you for pointing out. Yeah, we will upload all the data sets in the same folder. Yeah. So, any other question?
Ashish,
Ashish.
Yeah. One last question. Small clarification for the. Can you scroll down to the regression plot when it was like there's a plot where we have to do probably. Where is it? I think.
Yeah, this is, I think, regression line.
Yes, yeah. So here, like marker means the scattered dots or the line. I think plots, right?
Scatter points, well, like
Pointers.
dots. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Sumit Kumar. Sumit Kumar, can you please explain your question? Sumit.
Yeah, hi. So, I have a general doubt. Like for working with the assignment questions, many of times we look into the Google search for some command and we see it. And many at times there are multiple libraries that do the same function,
Yeah.
like pf.plot, that
Yeah. So
python.plot or dataframe.plot. So, how do we go ahead? Like because at this point of time we have to look into the net and then we see the command and do it, and there are so many of commands. So do you expect that we learn all those commands, but there are again multiple commands?
see, the challenge with Python is that it is not developed by a company unlike MATLAB or some of the other uh, uh, packages and libraries, right? So because there's a lot of open source contribution, you will get multiple ways of doing things. Even within the same library, there are multiple contributors who are not that coordinated with each other as you would get in a regular company. So we have to kind of learn to live with it and find whichever one we like and then keep going with it. I don't know if there is much of a difference. There might be some performance differences, but probably they are minor as far as plotting is concerned and so forth.
Sir, I asked this question because for scatter plot there are one scatter function, one regression function, and one lm plot. And to tweak certain parameters like marker size, I get feature in one of the libraries but not in other libraries. So this becomes a little difficult to know exactly this function does this, but other two may plot you the may give you a scatter plot but do not give you the same control.
Right. So, I mean, it's a discovery process even for us. I probably don't know all three of them completely, right? So I don't know if I can advise you anything more than that. But I'm giving you the why it is like this is because there's so much open source contribution to this free resource Python. So that's why we have so much redundancy. So, if you like one particular library and you know it best, that's fine. Just stick with that. So if you like Seaborn, then stick with that, for example.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? Looks like we've answered most of the questions. Yash?
Yeah, sir. We were gonna be told about this how to plot the CDF function. So would that be covered?
Okay, so yeah, we can cover that as well. So basically, in this SNS.kd plot, you can pass a parameter cumulative equals true, and on passing that, you can have a CDF plot. So basically, CDF is the summation of probabilities at a particular for CDF of a particular x value is the summation of probabilities of all the values smaller than that x. So you can plot the graph by passing this parameter in this function itself.
Yeah, so again, this is an argument which will work with KDE plot, kernel density estimation. If you use some other function, then definitely the arguments will get changed. So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea was that you should know what a PDF is, what a CDF is in terms of qualitative analysis. So that's why you can draw some conclusion from us by looking at a CDF or by looking at a PDF. So that was the idea behind this question.
Show the CDFs again. Okay, so this is for the assignment, right? So
Yeah.
can you tell from
Yes.
petal width and petal length, can you see that it is a bimodal distribution from the CDF? Can everyone see that? So bimodal means there are, if you look at the PDF, there would be two peaks. Instead of that, you see two inflection points where you see very high slope. So compare it to the PDF, then you will get
Yeah, this is the PDF of petal. So we can see that there are two.
thanks. So I guess we can wrap it up. Can we discuss post quiz lecture of lecture 2? Post quiz of lecture 2, are we discussing that?
No, sir, I don't think so. But yeah, maybe we can. Means I could see that there are a couple of questions on campus wire. We will
Huh.
answer them directly on campus wire. There
Okay,
were a couple. Yes.
all right. So Guru Prasad, you can ask the questions on campus wire. Ram Mohan,
Yeah.
what's your question?
Yes, sir.
What's
Yes,
your
sir.
question? Ram
Uh,
Mohan?
Sir, actually, I was a general question about the GitHub repository. Can I ask it here or should I ask over the campus?
Yeah, please tell us.
Uh,
Accordingly, we'll. Yeah, please tell us.
So first, I cloned the repository. Now, whenever you guys update the repository, my local repository doesn't get like automatic updates, right? So what can I do to update it automatically?
Okay, so you might be knowing about means in order to use GitHub efficiently, you need to know also about Git. So in Git, there is by using clone command, you can simply pass git clone and the URL. So you can get the repository cloned on your machine. Now, in order to update it, you have to pass git pull origin master. So basically, master is the main repo, and you are pulling it. So means whenever you feel like that you have to work on your repo, just run this command git pull origin master. It will update your repo and sync with the main repo.
Okay, sir. Sir, one more thing, sir. Can you go over to the masked thing, sir, in heat map?
Yeah, Rishabh will help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, sir. So you said that in one of the previous codes, mask was mentioned, but I couldn't find in any of the other notebooks, sir. Were you referring to the other previous notebooks, lecture notebooks, or in general, like somewhere on the library or somewhere else?
In
So
second notebook, we have this heat map.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We have
Rishabh, we
heat
have.
map, but there is no masking, I think, over there.
No, masking line is there. It has been commented, I guess. If you could have a look, we have given like two lines, mask equal to and then mask equal to true.
Okay, sir.
I think we have given this line. Just
yeah,
check it once. Yeah.
Lecture 2 or lecture 3, sir?
Lecture 2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got it, sir. I can read this. In this, sir, I have a question. So, I understood your point of saying that we just want to trick the lower triangle of the matrix below the diagonal. But from what it looks like, we are assigning value zeros to the lower values or the upper values for mask.
For the upper values, like
Yes.
first we are creating mask and assigning 0 to every value,
Okay.
and then we are explicitly mentioning that we want boolean true for the lower triangle, and then we are applying that.
Okay. So mask is basically what we want to see
Yeah,
from the big matrix.
from the correlation matrix. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to confirm. So mask is a subpart of the matrix that we want to see rather than what we want to hide.
Yeah, sure.
Harsh has a question. For data redundancy, do we need to specify a column as a reference column and then work with this column to see the correlation between other columns?
Yes, sir. So in this case, like the data set which we are working on, that is train file. So means it can be both. Means as of now, we were thinking that you can simply look at the histograms and find out which features are redundant. But again, it can be this case also. Like suppose in any data set, especially in machine learning, we have some features and there is one label. So with respect to that label, we check whether these features are redundant or not. So again, that you can also do, and by using the same core function, you can do this also. But here we are only interested in knowing any features, not with respect to any particular feature.
Kasina, ask your question.
Yes, actually, it's not a question. I wanted to ask if you could provide some tutorial on Git and GitHub. It would be helpful.
Yeah, Kasina, it's a good point. I think initially we had posted, we will repost it. Git and GitHub we will repost it. We will do it today as a note. We will post it on campus wire.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mohan, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, from the redundant features only, I wanted to know if there was a specific sequential process that we can follow to find these redundant features. I understand from the last lecture that there are certain things like we can see if by scatter plot if you can see the linear dependence. Then you also said about the area curves or the density curves. I remember there was something like if both of them overlap a lot, then there is a big if they overlap a lot, then we can assume there is a big correlation. So in those kinds of correlations, can we exclude one feature or not, or is there a sequential way to do it, and what all should we consider while?
So, so I think we are mixing a couple of concepts here. One is that two features can be correlated, right? So whenever two features are highly correlated, then obviously there's redundancy, and one of them can be dropped, or a composite feature can be created, or something along those lines. The linear combination of the two features. So that is one part of it. The other part is that what I was talking about was in the context of classification alone, right? So if you have classification, in classification, you want to see that for two classes, the distribution of a feature should be not too much overlapping. So that's, we were jumping ahead to machine learning at that point. So, right, it was like beyond just the data analysis. So we will come to that part later on when we come to like the machine learning module.
Okay, sir. So in this question, sir, are we focusing on specifically redundancy and not on correlation, like specifically redundancy? Like,
So there are two things. Like one, redundancy means that a feature that does not vary at all with samples. That was a redundant feature, right? So its histogram was just a single peak, right? So it doesn't add any information. It's the same for everything. So that is a feature that is redundant. The other can be a feature can be redundant with respect to another feature because it does not add any new information, not just any information. It doesn't and give you new information because that information is already. So feature A does not give you new information because it's already captured by feature B.
I understand the second point. Could you explain the first point with an example, please?
So example would be, let's say you have feature C, and the feature C is always constant. It doesn't change with the sample, so it doesn't give you any new information. Sorry, not just new information. It doesn't give you any information.
So let's say we had a data frame of cars, and there was a feature called number of tires, and every car has 4 tires.
Yes.
Considered as a redundant feature.
Yeah. So if every car has 4 tires, then the number of tires doesn't tell us anything about that car. If the data is just on cars, good example. So then the question one that Shubham is asking is, if two features are highly correlated, then which one should be dropped? So that's it's difficult to say which one should be dropped. Um, Perhaps if you're trying to predict some output target variable, the one that gives you better predictive power, that should be kept, and the one that gives you lower predictive power should be dropped. Joydeep is asking, to clarify, mask is just to get the lower half of values, as lower and upper both values are duplicate values, and hence we are getting only lower values excluding lower diagonals. Please correct me if I'm missing something. Did you get the question, Sudhakar, Rishabh?
Yes, sir. It's means it's right that mask is just to get the lower of values. Yeah, it's correct that we are simply removing the duplicate parts. It's correct.
All right. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we'll wrap it up. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, just a second. Just a second.
Yes.
I had a question. So it's not basically a question regarding something. It was just that the part of CDF, the part where we had to cover the CDF. So I had not initially used the KDE plot. I had used the dis plot. Okay, and that one does not have a cumulative option there. So I made a function and found the cumulative function myself. So should I delete
Fantastic.
that
More
and
power to you. No,
yeah.
I mean, it's okay. You
Yes, sir.
add maybe one more cell and do both.
Yes,
That
yes,
doesn't
I
matter.
I did
It's good
that.
that
I
you
did
learned
that.
it on your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, and one more thing, regarding the two CDF plots that I got, the one that I got was very deformed kind of a thing. The one with KDE plot was smoothened out. So how do I do that in a plot that I have made? Is it possible?
So because you don't have a kernel density estimation, you haven't put kernel on top of it, so that's why you will not be able to do it. So putting a kernel on each sample is a more advanced technique. uh, I think we will cover it in ML portion.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. So Joydeep, yes, you will get a link. You will get a form to submit your assignment. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, also
Bye.
please upload the datasets as soon as possible.
Yeah, yeah, sure, we will.
Yes, we will do it right away. Just
Yes,
after this
yes,
call, we will do it. Yeah,
yes.
sure.
Okay.
Oh.